Tier 3 cruisers can indeed do it all in the Winter Nexus. And we've got quite the fit for you today that can do both combat and hacking sites all in your Proteus. So if you want the best EVE guides and to be able to make billions this Winter Nexus, you came to the right place. Ladies and gentlemen, Loru here, digital advertiser, content creator, and EVE enjoyer for the better part of 10 years now, and y'all know I like me a Proteus. You could do what I'm about to show you in any T3 cruiser, but we like to fly the Proteus ourselves. Now, why would you want to bring one of these over a battleship? Well, the easiest answer is because the T3 cruisers have options. Battleships are really not going to be able to do both hacking and combat, whereas the Proteus has a roll bonus that makes it super easy for us to fit a scan probe launcher. Read, it's free to fit one of these guys, meaning we don't have to sacrifice our combat effectiveness to be able to actually use the probes. With any T3 cruiser, it's good to start with the subsystems. And let's start with the augmented fusion reaction here first. This one's going to make our capacitor recharge faster, give us a bonus against some energy neuting, but the big one that we're looking for is the 20% bonus to ship power output. This lets us really easily fit all the modules that we want, especially with all the guns that we got coming down. The next one's the Proteus propulsion hyperspatial optimization. We're really using this one because of the extra low slots it gets. We need those to be able to pump our DPS numbers up. Now the defensive module is where stuff starts getting interesting. We are using the augmented plating module. This is going to be your armor combat effectiveness module. We get a bunch of good low slots and a 5% stacking bonus to all armor hit points per rank of your defensive system skill, not to mention a flat increase to your armor HP. We really push this one to the maximum. We're going to get into that a little bit later. Finally, we have the DPS focused one, the hybrid encoding platform, and this is all focused on hybrid turrets read blasters. This is going to be a blaster fit. We get stacking bonuses, the damage, fall off, tracking speed. It's a hybrid turret machine. Now, typically you've seen me fly drones a lot in our Proteus. Why not drones this time? Well, the Winter Nexus positively eats your drones. You end up losing a bunch of them. And hybrid turrets have instant application once you come inside your effective range. If you're going up against a missile ship with similar specs, you're going to be able to out DPS them, and you need to get the battleship's loot at the end. Yes, the Winter Nexus is very similar to the Crimson Harvest in that. The lion's share of the loot, and indeed all the loot of the Winter Nexus, is at the end after you kill the battleship. We'll show you how to do a little bit more on that later. Speaking of blasters, let's dive into the highs. Yes, heavy neutron blaster 2s, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to bring 6 of these bad boys. You're going to max out your turret hardpoints. Now, if we simulate this guy, the fall-off range with your best DPS ammo is going to be 9k. We're going to talk about how you can increase that throughout this video. Unlike in our Chronos video where you really had to up your tracking, you're sitting at 60 turret tracking, you're totally fine. You need to worry about the fall-off range and the effective range. All the modules that we have for our blasters are going to be augmenting that fall-off range and make it so you can apply your damage sooner on site. The battleship spawns a little bit far from you, so you have to be sure you're really paying attention to the range of your guns. Next, we got a single sister expanded probe launcher. You want to get the faction one here with the faction ammo. We go up to 83 scanning points. That's plenty to be able to get these high sec sites, even into low sec or null sec. And just as an aside, you can take this into dangerous areas like low and null, but without the cloak on this, I would be very, very careful. Make sure you're with some friends. As we move into the mids, we are limited on the space here, so you really have to make sure you push this to the nth degree. We blinged out our Afterburner, getting a nice Federation Navy one. We're gonna go just under 670 MS with this, but you want to run the best Afterburner you can, because even with web, you're gonna be able to take out those frigates fast. Take those frigates fast. Say that 5 times fast. Wrapping in one of his videos again. The point is, you can't do DPS if you're far from the mobs. Use the best Afterburner to be able to get as close to them as you can. You're gonna run a large cap battery in the mids. Again, you only got 3 slots, so instead of running a medium cap battery in a medium-sized ship, run the big boy, run yourself a large cap battery. The hull fits cap stable because of this module right here. Now, the final mid slot is a blinged out tracking computer with no script running in this. I want fall off bonus, optimal range, and tracking speed. I want all 3. Now, the lows are super fun. We are going to run 3 magnetic field stabilizers. Running 3 of these is going to get us 1144 DPS unheated. And if we overheat these bad boys, we go up to 1300 DPS. Yowzer. This is more than some battleships and is one of the reasons we're running blasters over railguns. Railguns have better range than blasters, but you're not going to get this damage from them. Now, the smarter capsules here will notice that our effective HP is pretty low at 42k. That's all right because our effective heals are pretty high. Now, we've got a Corelum C-type armor repairer coupled with 2 auxiliary nano pumps in the rigs. These 3 together mean you have a cap stable heal you can leave on at all points. But Billy Mays style, wait, there's more. Here is the clone we are running with this fit. We have low-grade Asclepian implants. Who named these? Every single one of these is going to give you bonuses to your armor rep amount. So if your fitting numbers aren't as high as mine, the implants plus skills are Y. And since we're looking at the clone here, let me show you the rest of these. Our slot 6 makes all of our armor reps happen faster. Slot 7 is a global turret trap tracking speed increase. Slot 8 is going to help our scans happen faster. Slot 9 gives us a 4% bonus to all turret DPS. Ugh, that one's nasty. Slot 10 is going to give us more stacking armor HP. This whole clone works together for this fit, and even though it's expensive, I highly recommend it. Don't leave home without it. You are going to need some tank to be able to survive all the battleship hits though. We've got two Federation Navy Multispectrum Energized membranes. Goodness gracious, I wish these names were not as hard. These are going to increase your armor resistances up, and you can run something to deal with the low explosive resist if you want. The battleship does have missile damage. I had a spare one of these, so I just slapped it in. Feel free to use the best armor resistance ones you have. Something that is mandatory are these steel plates. The steel plates plus a single Trimark armor pump are going to take your raw armor HP up to just under 12k. The Trimark armor pump is going to give you 2k raw HP, and the steel plates give you 4k. So with these two together, you're just under doubling your raw armor HP. This is again augmented by the augmented plating in your subsystems, giving you the stacking armor HP bonus. So if you're running an armor combat Proteus, I highly recommend you slap in at least one armor plate. So don't ignore the stacking bonuses of your subsystem. You always want to look at your subsystem and see where the stacking bonuses are and prioritize your itemization from there. Now, all of this together is going to cost you 1.4 billion ISK. Most of our Proteus fits are just over 1 billion ISK a piece, and some of you looking at that price tag going, that's way too expensive for me. T3 cruisers are one of the most versatile ships in the game. I take the ship into wormhole space, into nullsec, lowsec. You'll be able to get this money back very effectively. Now let's talk about our cargo. It's super important to know what to bring here. You're going to bring 3 ammo types. Your null ammo is going to be far away, and you're going to bring the least amount of this. Your void ammo is going to be close, and it's going to be the highest DPS. And your antimatter ammo is going to be medium armor, medium range, best tracking. If you're fighting against some frigates and you can't seem to kill them, use your antimatter ammo. You're typically going to use the void ammo for all battle cruisers, and the battleship. And if the battleship spawns super far away, you're going to pop in the null ammo. You'll notice we didn't bring near as much null ammo as we did the void or the Caldari Navy, because we almost never had to use it. You're going to bring a crap ton of void and Caldari Navy ammo. Read, max out your cargo capacity, y'all. You burn through ammo with this fit. Bring as much as you can. The loot you're going to be getting from these sites is pretty small, so you can get away with literally maxing out the stuff you bring and then go from there. Now, we do have some sister combat scanner probes. You can take this into nullsec and gank some people, but I actually use these combat probes in highsec. EVE's game of information, and those pesky marauder pilots that are your competition, they're going to see these combat probes on their D-scan, and they're going to bug out immediately. I've used this to great effect. We had a system where we were competing with a Vargar, Kronos, and a Golem, and I threw these out and they all left post-haste. Use them as a little bit of a smoke screen for you, okay? We are bringing optimal range tracking speed scripts in the cargo just in case. I don't really use them, but I have them in the fit so that if y'all need them, you can slap them in. Now, these 3 here are for the Pochfin Express. We have taken this into nullsec and gotten back out of nullsec safely using this method. And we have a full guide on this. The link is going to be in the description. Also just popped up in the corner for you. Check that out. It really does need its own video. All you need to know is that we use this to get into nullsec and back to highsec safe enough, or at least safer than normal. Next, we got our consumables. Agency hard shells. I just bring a super cheap Tech 1 dose. These increase your armor reps by 3%. This plus overheating is typically enough for me to get through any kind of incoming damage. You also bring a standard exile booster. This is your oh crap button and gives you another 20% armor rep bonus. If the mobs are causing you a lot of trouble, you can pop this, but be warned, it has a pretty hefty negative side effect bonus. Now, this has a chance of happening, about a 1 in 5 chance, so it's not going to happen every time. I typically save the standard exile booster for if we're getting ganked. You shouldn't use this on the normal sites, but just know that it's there in case you need. Now, the MTU is something that's going to be necessary for you. There are a lot of loot ninjas coming out for the Winter Nexus, and the MTU is to guarantee that you get your loot. Now let's talk about the relic and data analyzers here. You're going to bring these with you because while you're on the combat site, you're going to be scanning down the various cosmic signatures with your probes. So if you find a Winter Nexus hack site, you can finish the combat site, go back to a station, refit to the necessary hacking module, and go hack away. Especially now that the Winter Nexus is in its back half, there's much less competition. So there's going to be a lot of these cosmic signature sites that are just there that nobody's paying attention to. Free loot for you. Enjoy it. Let's talk about the drone super fast. Because we're using hybrid turrets, your drone bandwidth is super low. This is going to get you only 100 DPS. Still something, but not anything you have to really pay attention to. You don't have to bling out these drones. We're just using Tech 2s. And finally, you have the Hornet EC300 drones. These are your anti-gank measures. You can lock on to the gankers and throw these out. Try to disrupt their lock on you so you can get the hell out. Not a surefire way to leave, but it's better than nothing. You're in a bling down ship, fly responsibly. And before we show you some live in-space examples for you, we have some presents for Christmas time. Yes, Yes, ladies and gentlemen, on the Loru Gaming channel, you already know, we give away billions of ISK almost every single video. And during the holiday season, we like to be extra generous. So we are going to be giving away to one lucky winner this exact ship, the full fit Proteus, 1.4 billion ISK, baby. And also some scope syndication skins to some runner-up winners. Indeed, Christmas comes early on this channel. So in order to win this fantastic giveaway, you have to do these three things. First, you have to be subscribed to the channel. You are literally losing money by not being subbed to me at this point. Second thing you got to do is go in the comments and put, I want presents. Third thing you got to do is put your in-game name in that same comment down below. Now I know who to send the contract to. And y'all, we did in fact hit 10K subs by the end of 2023. So I am currently planning that Eve extravaganza blowout stream like I promised. This year has been incredible for Eve and for the channel. Thanks y'all, 2024 is going to be fantastic. Let me cook, baby. Alrighty y'all, we are live on a site, so let's talk about how you're going to do this. Now, since you're cap stable, you're going to have all your modules on at all times. Your armor module, your afterburner, and your tracking computer, just turn them all on and leave them there. You literally don't have to worry about them anymore. The only thing you're going to have to watch is if you're going to overheat your armor module. Let's talk about kill priority. You're going to go after the frigates first, while you're taxiing to one of the bigger targets. Now, all the mobs newt and web you, but all the frigates newting you at once means you're going to be going at a snail's pace. So you want to start by killing the easier to kill targets, that's the frigates. Once the frigates are dead, you're going to be making sure you go for the cruisers and battle cruisers. You want to really be paying attention to the optimal range and fall off range of all your guns. You can mouse over your gun here and the optimal range is going to appear in this box right here. And before we go any further, some of you are very astute and notice we are actually multi-boxing right now. Now, I've done these sites solo, but while I was recording, the competition was so fierce, we had to bust out our Myrmidon. So if you've watched this far into the video, I got a special treat for you. The fit for both the Proteus and the Myrmidon are actually in the pinned comment of this video. So if you're a multi-boxer and you want to try out some of our buddy fits, there's literally never been a better time. We're going to have a full video dedicated to multi-boxing and to buddy fits in general. The buddy fit Myrmidon's entire point is to boost the targeting, gun tracking and damage, and armor effectiveness of our Proteus while being cap stable and having absolute great healing, meaning I don't have to worry about it. And just in case the Myrmidon takes a bunch of damage, we have a second active heal ready to go. And in case my Proteus is running out of cap, we have some remote cap boosters ready to go as well. Now, if we turn on the remote cap booster, we stop being cap stable. That's okay, 4 minutes is like an eternity. So if you have the means, I highly recommend you multi-box, not just for the Winter Nexus, but for most of EVE Online activities. So one of the main things you're going to be doing while you're on the site here is managing your ammo. You can see we're about 10K away from this guy, so I should have swapped to my void ammo to the most damage possible. I have my orbit set to around 4K and my keep at range set to about 1,000. So what I'll do is I'll use keep at range to get right close to the mob, and then once I'm close enough, I'll set my orbit up. That way I guarantee no matter what happens, I'm at least getting close to the mob, and then once I'm close, I got a nice transversal orbit around them, so they can't hit me, but I can still hit them with our superior tracking. Once you kill all the mobs, the battleship is going to spawn. Now is when the fun begins. Now I'm gonna rewind this clip a little bit and pause it right here. I found that the battleship will spawn typically on the point of these rocks, either on this side or on this side. And I found consistently that the battleship will spawn where I'm not. So if I'm on this side, I go towards this side, or vice versa. Now I haven't confirmed this, but it's something I've noticed and have used to great effect. Once the battleship does spawn, you're going to use the same keep at range into orbit trick. You'll notice the battleship spawned around 20K from us. We have to close the distance if we're going to actually do any damage to this. Once we see the battleship is red boxing us as well, I should have sent my drones out. You want to send your drones out as soon as possible. This is going to be able to make or break the amount of DPS that you do, especially if there's competition. Now, as you can see, we are taking some hits, but we are no problem. We just left all of our stuff on, and we're taking so little damage. I actually took this opportunity to get some nice looking B-roll of my Proteus, giving it to this battleship. I typically can do one of these sites in between 4 to 6 minutes, depending on where stuff spawns. Even if I Proteus to solo, it takes that amount of time. The Myrmidon buddy fit is really there just to give you a little bit of extra oomph. Smashing hits, wrecking hits, there it is, the thing blows up. And the MTU did grab the wreck first. We dropped it as we spawned in. Let's see how much we got from this. I paused the clip again. All of this together was about 11 million ISK for about 5 minutes of work. And let's call it 10 million ISK just for the sake of math. So that's 20 million ISK every 10 minutes times 6 is 120 million ISK an hour. That's pretty fantastic for not a battleship. And y'all, one of the final things that I'll say, did you notice the directional scanner? Now we have the directional scanner set to 1 AU at a 360-degree arc, meaning if there's a ship at the acceleration gate, or if there's a ganker getting ready to probe us down with combat probes, we'll know before it happens. All you have to know is if you have it set up like I have with this 1 AU stuff, and you start seeing combat probes, it's time to leave, because that means somebody's scanning you down, getting ready to take you out. And y'all, we have a ton of Winter Nexus guides right here. combat, exploration, mining. So if you want to make billions ISK this season, make sure you bookmark that playlist. And y'all, thanks for almost getting us to 11K subs. Sub right here if you want some more. We're planning some massive things for 2024. I would especially be paying attention at the beginning of January, as that's when that blowout stream is going to happen. Thanks very much, y'all. We'll see you in a future video.